You live here?
Yes, I live here. I was born here. My family lived here for over 800 years.
Can we have a tour?
Yeah, of course. Come into a courtyard, come through the archway. You've got to shut the doors and kept the bad guys out. But we come through here.
Oh, wow. Look at this room.
Other heads, they're all relics of my father or his cousin's adventures on Chicago. I always describe this room a bit like being a Hollywood actress. The bones are ancient, but the skin changes.
Look how big this door is. Oh my God.
All these great rooms were built by my ancestors in the 1690s. We have these great rooms which they use for entertaining. There's my second son, Humphrey.
Oh, I love the green in here.
This used to be my office. This is an estate. I've got about 3,000 acres here.
You guys used to have a television show about your lives as well.
I had several television shows. I even had one when I went around America. Does America Suck, I think they called it.
I see up here that it's kind of decaying a little bit of the walls.
I started redecorating the wall. It's my own artwork, but my scaffolding would only reach so far. And a bit of paint and a bit of wallpaper. Who could just fuck?
Holy shit. Okay, wow.
So you can't have a great staircase unless it leads to a great room, right?
Yeah.
We use it for pickleball. I think this is where you're sleeping, Callum.
How old is this bed frame?
This bed's about 1600. Probably one of the oldest beds still slept in.
I think it's a 10 out of 10, this bed. I like how the tub is the center of the
And a
room.
bit of a drawing room. It's a glorious room.
You go swimming in that pond?
Yes, that's our swimming pool.
No lifeguard on duty.
No health and safety crap. We have quite a few ghosts.
Good ghosts, bad ghosts?
One bad one. They wake up and they're being crushed by chains. We have this long passage to go down.
Yeah.
As a little chap this big, it was absolutely bloody terrifying. And I used to just run fast as I could to get from here down to the end of it. This is our bedroom. I can say I sleep in the same bedroom I was born in. And my father died in. Goodness knows how many people have been born and died in this bedroom.
Okay, where are we going? A nice lookout to see your enemies approaching from.
Yes, very feminine, this landscape. That's me when I was young and handsome.
You're still handsome. How old are you, by the way?
73.
You're a young man still.
This was what we called the night nursery when I was a boy. I was asleep in this room and I woke up. There was a girl halfway up my bed. I thought it was my sister Angela. So I hit her. And of course my fist went right through. And so I hid under the blankets. And then I put my head up and then I saw this girl standing there looking at me. And then in a totally different bedroom, 20 years later, I woke up and I saw the dark silhouette of this person by the head of my bed. And it was a girl I'd seen 20 years earlier in this room. Exactly the same. I said, I hope you're a friend. I've always thought of you as a friend. She said nothing, obviously. And then she sort of faded back and stood by the door looking at me. And then went through the door. And I haven't seen her since. Here we are again.
Hi, I'm Caleb. Nice to meet you.
Caleb, very nice to meet you. I've just seen you on the roof.
Most
This
of
is
the
my
time.
kitchen and the kettle is on and I will make you some tea.
Now you know some leaving an inheritance or a legacy for your kids, the people you love, is something that a lot of great men or good men hope to do. Some succeed, some don't. And some want to leave inheritance as well, some don't. But I see the story on Instagram and that shit just was so crazy. The guy say his family have had this same house in the family for 800 years. Now, he's somewhere over there in Britain or somewhere like that, and his grandparents built this mansion, right? And it been in the family for 800 years. He sit here and showed a bed that they built in 1600 that people are still sleeping in today. Now, yes, you can tell this mansion had its time. You can tell the paint peeling off the wall. It need to be updated. But the guy say he still lived there. He was born in the house. He still live in the house and he's 70 years of age. But he say his grandparents bought this house, bought the property, and it was 3,000 acres. And his grandparents built this mansion on there. And it had been in the family for the last 800 years. And that just got me to thinking. I say, in black people family, we be lucky if that shit make it to 2 generations. And a lot of white people family, I already know that shit don't go no more than 2 or 3 too, because white folks cross their family out too, pertaining to inheritance. This motherfucker up right here. But yeah, so with white people, that shit might not make 2 or 3 generations either. You know, because a lot of times in Google, ChatGPT, and a lot of worldwide media outlets, apps, they portray that white people keep things in their family longer than blacks and a lot of others. I believe for the most part it's the same, no matter the race, just based on the state of the world now, how humans are. One, because a lot of humans now is fixated on themselves and they don't care what their parents love, whether they got something or not. They got too much shit going on in their own personal life to tend to it a lot of times. Other times, I think they just want to say that everybody keeping inheritance more than blacks, because blacks is the bottom race. And people always like to propel themselves over or compare themselves to, knowing the circumstance of the average black person or the history of the black person. But nonetheless, you can go race, whatever race you want. Most of them is not going to keep some in the family for 800 years. Most time, multiple people are going to be argue about it, fought about it, stole it from each other, or something going to be to happen. But I say all that to say this. That's something anybody that got any sense want to do, is leave an inheritance for their kids. So at least they have a place that they can feel safe in and always come back to, that is their own, that they know is in the family and ain't going nowhere. Also the fact that showing that you've been living this life and you ain't left nothing for your kids, you ought to feel worthless, or like you ain't shit, because you should have at least something that you left for them to say outside of just memories. Because in the world that we live in, money and what you have is what everybody judging you off of. They're not really judging you off of what type of life you live like that. That's only a piece of it. Everybody and everywhere you go, based on how the world is, they're looking at what you got, what you have, what you're doing, and how is you impacting others, or at the bare minimum, the people in your circle. Now, on the other hand, I will say this, speaking from my own experience, when somebody get an inheritance, it all depends on what they at that time in their life, if they can handle it or not, because I've been one of the people that I got my inheritance pretty early, because my dad passed in my early 20s. But at the same time, I wasn't in the right place in my life by the time I got mine to even be able to manage it and handle it. Only because I didn't understand how bad grief hit people and how people handle going through a grieving period. And I didn't understand how hard people handle going through a grieving period, and I also was in that space of I didn't want no outside person to help me, like a counselor or a therapist or something, because I'm looking at it as like, hey, how can somebody fucking help me that they ain't even went through what I went through? Or I know that this person got shit going on in their own fucking life they can't get right. So how I'm gonna go to this person thinking they got some great advice that they can help me, and they can't even fucking help themselves. And they sitting behind a table with a degree or with some paperwork trying to tell me something, when I already know, even though this my shortcoming is grief at the moment, they got a lot of them that they just hired that they ain't dealt with. So for me, I just went on it by myself and took the harder way with it. But I say that all to say is, when that shit happen and somebody get an inheritance, a lot of factors go into that shit of how it will be handled. You know, the age and stage of person that, what the person got going on, But everybody's goal should be to do what this guy family did. At least leave them something that they can have, that have value, and they can show off. So I'm gonna add his clip in here where he show off his house and stuff, and where everybody can see it.